Bill Ryan, and welcome to my world. I feel it's necessary from this point forward for me to announce that I am a constitutionalist, and my First Amendment right to the Constitution includes freedom of religion and the right to freedom of speech, which should be a right given to everyone in the world. We should all have that right. So to get started, I wrote a book called In Search for the I. In Search for the I. And it's one of my longest books. It took me 20 years to write this book. It's extremely complicated, and I quite literally didn't write it for the average public to understand it, comprehend it, or even absorb it. And I did it for me. And it is extremely complicated. It involves my attempts to understand my place in life. Where am I in the big picture? And that was the effort behind the book, behind writing the book. And basically, what I do is I look at I wanted to understand me. Who am I? And basically, my soul, my spirit, the essence of myself exists in this brain. And that consciousness, that being that exists, lives right here. And it travels from one side of the brain to the other side of the brain. And if one pays attention to that, you can actually watch people thinking. And I've always been fascinated by it. And literally, I will watch somebody, just like I'm doing now, tilting their head a little bit, and they are in the left side of the brain. And when you're artistic, you're in the right side of your brain. And when you watch people talk, you'll actually see them pointing to this idea, that idea, or wherever that bit of information is stored within their brain. So the essence of themselves is traveling to one side or the other and literally pointing at that spot within their brain. You don't see it. You don't even consciously know you're doing it. You're subconsciously doing it. Just like you drive a car subconsciously. Just like you type subconsciously. And the information is there without you consciously thinking of each and every thing. And it would be quite a different world if you had to not be able to rely on your subconscious to handle everything, because it does a tremendous amount of work. And for some people, their conscious mind is so dim that they literally are just subconsciously going through life, hardly even paying any attention to the world that's going on around them. Which is why I say this is such a complicated book, because the average person doesn't see it, you might be aware of something, you might have, oh yeah, I kind of saw that, oh, I had that impression, but that's it. You know, you just write it all off as supernatural, voodoo, religion, an act of God. You just fluff it away without actually looking at what it is. And basically, this is us in each one of our brains. It's the same thing in a cat, a dog, a bird. That consciousness is there. You can see it. You can see, if you pay attention, that same life force. And trying to understand it, trying to understand the chakra system within our body, the third eye, the throat chakra, which is where we speak, the heart chakra, which is where our love comes from. you can see this in other people. It radiates in their aura. And if they have strong chakras and they're powerful people with a powerful solar plex chakra, it comes across. I have a strong solar plex. I have a good throat chakra because I can speak articulately, whereas some can't. Some can't get up and talk in front of other people. It's difficult. And what I also looked at is I really wanted to understand where we as an individual fit within the minute and the extremely large. How do we fit in that world? The galaxy, the universe, it seems endless. It's enormous, and the minute, the particles that we are made up of. How do we fit within all of that? How does that work? And a lot of people, theorists, believe time started with the Big Bang. Well, that's to me, that's extremely stupid. Time can't start. Time doesn't just start. Time is a constant. So you have the Big Bang right here. That's the Big Bang, and supposedly time started right then, and there was nothing before. Well, to me that's idiotic, because something had to be before time that made the Big Bang. And if you look at Zen Buddhism or other forms of Buddhism, they believe life is cyclical. It's we are born, we live, we die, and we're born again. And those cycles create what's called old souls. And we've heard of them. We may have even met some that just seem to have a great capacity for understanding. They're wise beyond their years, or they're concert pianists at the age of 4. I mean, where did they get that? They brought it with them into this life. And many times extremely young children will talk about their previous life. And children have been born into families, a Christian family, and they claimed they were Jewish. Some are born into a white family, but they claim black history in a previous life. And doctors have done research to dispel this and say, well, that's idiotic, it's not true, I'll prove it. And they've taken people back in time before their birth, and suddenly here comes out another person that doesn't speaks a foreign language, lived in another country. They do the research and find that there really was that person. So to try to dispel it, they've actually proven it. And the book covers a great many topics, the big picture. I try to look at everything. The origins of life, dark energy, white energy. I try to break it down, and again, I did it for myself. It took me 20 years to put this book together, over 20 years, and I could never pull all the pieces together. I just couldn't make sense of the whole thing. And then one day, I saw every chapter in my mind. I wrote them down really quickly and finished the book. And again, I wrote the book primarily for myself. And I truly believe that there are not 6 people on this planet that will read this book or appreciate it. But again, I did it for myself. If you are an open-minded person, and corporations and governments will permit new ideas, new concepts that go against the historically proven facts, you can still read things like this until it's been determined that no, the world really is flat, and you're not allowed to look at any other new things. The sun goes around the planet, and you're not allowed to look at anything else. And if you do, you are sent to prison or possibly killed. Who knows? This is a new world we're coming into, and as long as we permit major corporations to quash free thought, free speech in this world, we'll never be able to advance to the next level. We have to have that. And as long as I still have that, this is going to be available. And when that's taken away, you'll probably not be able to see this video. But the book's available right now, and as I said, it was an awful lot of work to put it together. And if you should buy it, I would welcome hearing from you and your opinion. Even if 90% of the information is erroneous and doesn't make any sense and doesn't apply, it means 10% of it is probably some good stuff. And many times that's how new discoveries are made. We do it on the stairs of each other's understanding of that particular topic, that concept. And without that freedom to create that stair that we can all step out on when we're walking out on these limbs and making these visions, these thoughts, opening ourselves up to criticism, sometimes there's a little ray of light in there that does make sense and takes us to a new level. And that's what we have to do. We have to keep an open mind, all of us, and continue to enforce freedom of speech. Even if you don't like it, you still have the right to say what you think. I want to thank you for watching this video, and if you do buy this book, I sincerely hope you enjoy it. Thank you.